doesn't turn into a
now
show.
Quick scenario for you. You know, I love these scenarios. You know, what if a T-Rex walked into the room type scenario. For VPD only.
There was more drama.
I know it's the legislation, but if you shoot an unarmed civilian.
Chat, before we even get into this, some people need to chill out. Okay. Like I may react to shit in the moment, and just speak my mind or however I feel about it in the moment. But it's not that deep for me. Some people are getting a little too upset about this on both sides, obviously. But like, I don't even hate Trab. I'm not sitting there after stream like, oh man, these fucking barricades. Like, it's not that deep, chat. We may have different opinions on shit, but let me tell you, it's really just not that fucking deep.
And all right, because you have an itchy trigger finger, like you just served 10 tours in Afghanistan. I will make sure you are on bike patrol for the next fucking 2 weeks. That's for VPD. But we have common sense on that side. I can't speak for other departments.
Ooh, throwing a little jabs.
Make sure you guys know. Go ahead, Sebo. Question.
Is that if they're behind, like they go behind the barrier?
I have an announcement for CPD. If an unarmed person goes through that barrier, kill them and whoever they're with. Perfect. And
hell yeah, fuck around, find
perfect. This guy's just trolling though. I know. See, Fresh is trolling.
My grand marshal.
The barrier's literally.
But the problem is the cops are actually gonna do that. I think Koil clarified some shit where pretty much the barricades are not supposed to be used to cover a large area of ground. Like yesterday, how they had like from Legion Square all the way up to Pillbox, from FIB over to lower Pillbox, which is a fucking that's like 4 blocks. They're supposed to just be small areas, and they're supposed to be used during stagnant shootouts. So shootouts that have been going on for a while and stuff like that, and they place the barriers around a small area of the people. What did I say? Yeah, like to create a safe meeting area where you can bring people that are down or bring whatever, just to really block that area off. They're not supposed to be used in multiple different spots. They're not supposed to be like put up the moment, and like you're not supposed to, if you just shoot like random people that aren't involved in the situation by the barriers, it's still like RDM, pretty much. Is what I was. But yeah, so I'm sure shit will get worked out. Right now, motherfuckers are just trolling it.
Say do not cross on them.
Yeah, if you go past the barriers, legislation is like at that point we can't stand there and start checking if you're in an active shooter zone, and you can't start checking the.
Calm knows he's just stirring the pot.
If they come past the barrier, they know the legislation. They can act as dumb as they want. They know the legislation. It's open. It's open fire. It's unfortunate. It sucks. Don't pass.
It's not open fire though. I'm sure Koil will clear this shit up.
All due respect, I will not be shooting any unarmed individuals.
What's their job? Hold on, are we not police?
Okay.
I don't know about CPD,
are you guys not
but
listening to the legislation? Like,
no,
this is
it's not about legislation.
All right, let me. Can I finish fucking speaking? Oh my God! One more person speaks over me.
She's trying to argue the legislation, but what? What are you, a robot? You're just like you're programmed. So she's using the legislation as if it's programmed into her. Well, legislation says this. It's exactly what I'm gonna do, and not being human. Oh, I got another A boost.
First though, like, hold on, wait.
Like,
she's in a wheelchair again. Let her talk.
She's in a wheelchair.
Oh my
God!
Oh
my God!
Okay, let me give you one example, Dan. I walk past that barrier completely unarmed. I walk past it. You guys don't stop me. I then pass that barrier, pull out a gun, and shoot in the head. Easy as that.
Okay.
What?
So I don't know. I don't know about C.
With that logic. So I'm sitting in my car. Someone's walking down the street. I'm just gonna let him walk up to my car and maybe he'll take out a gun and just blow my head off? No, I'm gonna kill him before he even walks. She thought she made such a good point.
CPD, but we're cops, right? I think. Well,
like,
I think our job is to protect and serve and shit. Okay? Is that correct? It's not.
Yeah.
I need to.
Yeah, send them on over. I'll be ready.
Yeah.
Oh no, I said other than C. I said other than CPD.
It literally says on the side of our vehicles, obey and survive VPD vehicles.
Okay, yeah, we don't need to shoot unarmed civilians though.
Like, what the fuck
okay, but how do we know that there are unarmed civilians? Like, you know, the people they can change.
Bro, they're just making shit up.
Wait a second.
How are we supposed to? This logic is broken. How are we supposed to know if they're unarmed? Does that not apply to every person in the world? Then?
No, wait.
When you put your fucking badge on, you are not a gang member.
What do you mean? What is an unarmed civilian?
Guys, it's one at a time. I can't hear anything anybody's saying.
Wait, shut up.
Two at a time is better than none.
No. What the fuck do you mean? What is an unarmed civilian? Please tell me.
He said, how can you tell if they're unarmed?
What? Okay, how can... What?
That's a legitimate question.
That's a very logical question.
Yeah, it's all the...
Yeah, that is a very logical question.
Presently visibly armed. He's asking, how can you tell if a civilian is unharmed?
Yeah,
you gotta understand.
They try to twist it anyway. I just don't even understand, dude. Yo, I just don't even understand. Yo, this might be a 5-head experiment from Koil, man. This might have all been a 5-head. He's like, you know what? Let's throw these hardcore mechanics in here and just see. Let's just see what happens. Let's see how people react.
All right, everybody relax for a second. Listen, everybody's got to take a step back. I understand that there are some differences in opinion on how things should be done. But by saying that, hey, in VPD, we let dumb fucks...
Honestly, everyone should listen to what Kyle just said. At the end of the day, chat, this is all just difference of opinions. You don't have to go and say, yo, fuck this motherfucker for thinking that way. You could, you know, voice your opinion too, but you don't have to hate people over this shit.
Go over barriers that say don't cross and they'll knowingly be shot. You're not doing anything
you
but adding
you
to
know,
the
shit's fucking
problem
stupid,
of there being inconsistency within the PD. It's clear as day that these are around. Their legislation is in place. Everybody's gonna know. You guys are causing the problem by not doing what should be done. And if that is how strongly you guys feel about it, you guys can always resign.
So shooting civilians is basically what we do now, right?
Chief, can I ask my question, please?
Responsibility for their own actions.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to like contradict what you're saying, but we had a
they are misusing the shit. Based on how Koil want it used, at least. Now what they're doing, I guess, does follow the legislation, because the legislation is pretty vague, right? That's what they do. Like, shit gets put in, and it's always like vague context and vague guidelines. So they just fucking, you know, they go to the max. They're like, oh well, I mean, says I can. So then every time this happens, when something new comes in, this is what happens every time. And then they have to step in and really define it and really tell people, like, chill the fuck out. Like, what are you guys doing?
I'm sorry to bother you. I just want to make sure.
Got it? This is what happens, though. But I mean, in the end, chat, everything always gets worked out. Shit's usually bumpy at first. But in the end, it all gets worked out. So there's really no point to get too worked up about it.
Earlier today, but it was the active shoot up of GG, and one of the GG members was acting like an unarmed civilian that had nothing to do with it, and we let him walk. And then 5 minutes later, he came back and shot officers. He didn't visibly have any weapons or anything like that. But since, you know, class 2s are not really
you go around killing everybody,
if they're armed or unarmed, especially if all people, even civilians, wear masks.
Applies to fucking everybody.
The area and then came back and shot.
Yeah, that's right.
I care more about officer safety than civilian lives. I'm gonna say that is my prerogative on every scene.
Oh no, I can tell, but the thing is, like, you're okay.
That's okay. I'm listening. We can have a conversation. It's fine.
Here's my point. I have a point to make. Here's my point.
Go ahead, Pete.
There was nothing wrong with HUD charges. Literally nothing wrong with HUD charges. The position that they were in and everything, the legislation and how they were written, there was nothing wrong. But individuals like Wrangler and other individuals within your guys' PD and other PDs alike use the HUD charges, pick that shit apart, use what they wanted to use in the way that they wanted to use it, put people away for days and days on end until the shit was changed. Okay? So we'll do the same with this, right?
Why are they okay? Now this is where they make it weird. It's just like, yo, it's not. Hutch is just making an example of in the past when there's been charges and they be misused and then they have to get rid of them or whatever. He's trying to make the example like, you guys, yo, you're misusing these barriers. They should be used for better stuff, and this was gonna happen. And they make it weird, like.
What does that have to do?
He's not slandering Wrangler. He's just making a fucking example. Like, did Wrangler not use the hut charges to the max? He did. I think he would even agree he did.
Because the legislation says it, we're gonna do it. That's
how you know that they take this all very serious and all very personal. I'll tell you, the PD is a very weird place. It's weird. A lot weirder than people know.
Saying, right?
This is a fucking joke, okay? This is not the PD I joined a year and a half ago. Okay?
You're a fucking joke. What we're saying right now doesn't make any
sense. He's not. Well, they can't. That's just weird, bro. Anyone who goes against, you can't even conversate and have an opinion and talk. It's just like, nah, fuck. That's such the big problem in the city as a general. Like, people are so like at each other's necks or have so much just animosity that like they won't even hear each other out. They won't even listen. They're just trying to find ways how they can twist it to get their shit out there. If I'm actually wrong on something, I'm willing to listen and be like, oh shit, okay, I was wrong. I was fucking out of line there, whatever. You know, like for example, yesterday when I went on the roof and was antagonizing Brian and Gutter. Should I have done that? Probably not. Even though it was like the same shit that they did, I was just repeating the shit they said. It's like, what's the point though? I mean, but people are just can't even have no. They just, I don't know. People just. Some people are just far gone.
This PD's a joke, man. Shoot civilians, man. Yeah. They cross the barrier, shoot fucking civilians.
Guys, listen.
We're gang members. Why not, Mr. K, everything is all good to go, bro.
Use your words. You don't have to shoot somebody off rip. You guys are so fucking eager to shoot.
Okay, I don't think this is all right. Let's adjourn. Okay, I don't think this is.
You know what's funny though? Everyone who's walked out the room, I'm not surprised.
God, like, what do you mean?
It's a common theme.
I think this is great. That we have right now, guys.
I'm just gonna say this: if any of the high
Yo, fuck you, Pred. You started this whole mess right here, dude. He got on this podium, started stirring the pot, bro.
With the legislation,
yeah, it's a
they
legislation.
Need to go and talk to the Senate
There's
about
a big.
it.
Here's the thing. Listen, there's a big difference between for Jared. Listen, there's a big difference between hut charges and stuff like that because
not really.
This is an actual legislation.
He's not comparing like the hut to this. He's just comparing what happened with the hut charges to what could happen with the barricades if they keep being used the way they're being used.
This is clear as day that, you know, the barriers, everybody can be versed. Hey, if you go past this barrier, you're going to...
An active scene.
Oh, chat, I just realized...
This is a react. All right.